His Excellency Mr. Zurab, Pololikashvili, Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization. Secretary General, welcome to the stage.
Assalamu alaikum and very happy World Tourism Day. Before I start my speech today, it's a very emotional and very important day. As it was mentioned, we never celebrated last 40, maybe 100 or 140 years, this kind of big celebration of World Tourism Day. But before I start, I want to express, on behalf of our community, our friends and our ministers, our condolences to Morocco, what happened 3 weeks ago. Still, we are very touched. The same what happened in Turkey and Syria. The ministers are here, and I want to express on behalf of all of us. And Saudi Arabia was one of the first country, the first day, who supported all these 3 cases very strongly. So, again, I'm very happy to be back to Riyadh. Today I will talk a little bit more how many times I visited not on the world. This is I will report during General Assembly in Uzbekistan, but I will talk a little bit more about what is happening in Saudi Arabia and what is happening in investments in this beautiful country. So, dear Excellency, dear friend, Minister of Tourism, dear Ahmed Al-Khatib, dear ministers, again, it's never happened, and we have more than 45 ministers, 100 delegations and 500 representatives of different countries from all over the world today, and it's a big celebration, and thank you to put as much and as top level this day. We'll end it with Julia Simpson, and I want to mention the presence of private sector, which is very important for investment forums. Especially Julia told me that Zurab, when and why we don't do something big event together. Julia, it's your event. Don't think that it's only mine or Saudi Arabia's event. It's for everyone, and without private sector, it's impossible to make things, projects or development together. So welcome to all of you. I want to welcome again ministers, all delegations who took their planes and connectivity. I agree with His Excellency. It's a big challenging issue for everyone, and you are here. You are here from Americas, from Europe, from Asia and Pacific and Africa. I saw many ministers this morning, and it's an honor to greet you. We begin our World Tourism Day celebration. Today we come together around the power of tourism, and World Tourism Day is our call to action to make clear why our sector matters for everyone and everywhere. And today this call is louder than ever. Here in Riyadh we welcome hundreds of delegates, more than 50 ministers of tourism, business leaders, community representatives, media from every region. This morning I saw that in all international media, it's first time again celebrating and announcing the World Tourism Day. It never happened. So thank you, all of you. I say welcome to today's celebration. It showcase the diversity of our sector, but they also show how strongly we are united around a common theme. Tourism and green investments makes clear what our sector needs to deliver on our sustainability ambitions. Today, we'll explore the biggest challenges and the biggest opportunities to do more and to do better. It will be a day of asking big questions and identifying solutions. But above all, it will be a day of cooperation and friendship. And since we are among friends, for now I will leave the formalities to one side, and if I may, I will speak you from my heart. For many of you, this could be your first visit, as Minister mentioned, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But I remember my first time in 2018. Almost as soon as I took my role, I came straight to the Kingdom. That is where our story started. I met our dear friend, Minister Al-Khatib, for the first time then, and he has a picture of that meeting, this is very first meeting of ours before we had a conversation by phone, a very happy memory to share with you. And we began as colleagues, and very quickly we became also good friends. As I mentioned, he's a friend of all of you, I know. I was also immediately won over by minister enthusiasm and belief in the power of tourism. And it became immediately clear to me that the kingdom's strong belief in tourism would be backed up by strong actions. That very same day, I had the honor of meeting with His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud, and again I was blown away by his ambition. Right away, it was clear that these were not empty words. Many of people and many of my friends, they are talking, no, Zurab, they are talking it's not real. His Royal Highness set out his vision 2030 to me. I'm talking about 5 or 6 years ago. And he made clear the role tourism would play in achieving it. There and then, he shared with me details of 5 tourism projects already underway. You see all ministers, all cabinet of ministers, they were sitting. This is a historic photo, by the way. This is when the tourism started in Saudi Arabia. In Saudi everything is big, no? But in very big building, in the Riyadh, you will visit, I'm sure, in these days, and you will see the total change of that place. And we were discussing how to build, how to support, what can we do, and what are the next steps to develop tourism sector, and shared the details with the 5 tourist projects already underway, as I mentioned. And then the next day at the workshop, we hosted, and he shared even more details. These were concrete plans and not just the words. I was won over there and then, and looking into this room, I'm sure that this is the feeling we all share. Above all, His Royal Highness stressed his determination to make the kingdom more accessible and the fast forward to opening of Saudi Arabia to the world. And only 1 year later, this which came true. In 2019, the kingdom officially opened its door to international tourists. Let us not forget the opening happening on World Tourism Day. That year, the official celebration, 27th of September, was planned, and as you know, we are always planning the year before, in India. And that morning I was in New Delhi, hosted by our good friends from India. You see the magnitude of the event. The Vice President attended, and it was a wonderful occasion as always. But I knew big things were happening here in the kingdom the same day, and the e-visa was being launched, a huge moment. And guess who got the very first tourist e-visa, number 005, and it's there on the screen. So it's an honor, it's historical, maybe in 50 years I will sell it on the auction. So I decided to defy time zones and flew against the clock destinations Riyadh. After more than 3,000 kilometers, I joined my second World Tourism Day celebration. It happened. Don't worry, I will not leave you today. I will be with you at the fantastic dinner, and I hosted under the leadership and vision of His Excellency. This clearly was the beginning of something exciting the kingdom was see to transform the tourism sector. Since then, our friendship and partnership has only deepened. This was especially true during the pandemic. COVID was a shock to all of us, but it did not stop us or even slow us down. You see, in masks, we were traveling, we were visiting the different parts of the kingdom. The kingdom showed the world just how determined our sector was to keep moving. Our regional office for the Middle East was built in record time, all during the pandemic. Again, nobody believed that it will happen. In 1 year, the doors opened in May 2021. We had the pleasure of welcoming Her Royal Highness Princess Haifa. Thank you, Princess, to be again with us, of course, always, and Deputy Minister of Tourism. I'm sure that many of you know her personally. And it was really historic day for all of us. We had Minister of Investment that day and many ministers celebrating together. Again, you see it in the screen that we are all in masks. It's still pandemic time. And of course, Minister Al-Khatib was the guest of honor along the dignitaries from across the region and the world. And the United Nations Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, also sent his congratulations, and he predicted the regional office would support the growth of rural tourism development worldwide. He was right. Today the office is staffed with the top talent. It's a global knowledge hub about all for tourism, innovation, and for tourism and rural development. Many of you will have heard about our Best Tourism Villages project. I always called it the star and one of my and our favorite project, and that's run out of our Riyadh office. It has captured the imagination of destinations and travelers everywhere. So far, we have recognized 116 rural destinations as of today as best tourism villages. Among them is Alula, right here in the kingdom. This was the location of our first meeting of best tourist villages this past February. It's a great example of how tourism can preserve history and culture. So too is Diriyah, right here in Riyadh, the original home of all House and South, now was tourist for everywhere with its history. But Saudi tourism is about so much more than celebrating the past. This is a country that is always looking forward, and in big ways. We call it Saudi way, everything big, everything very big. And what can we say about NEOM? You heard a lot, and I'm sure that when you saw first pictures and photos about NEOM, you were thinking that it's not reality, but yes, it is. This are not on the picture, it will be reality in 2 or 3 years. So this is what ambition looks like. So too does the Red Sea Development Project. This is the future of tourism being built right here and right now. In less than 5 years, the kingdom has gone from an unknown to a must-see destination. I am confident that countries everywhere are inspired by this example and will follow it themselves. But dear friends, the kingdom is so much more than a destination. If I may put my work that head back on for a moment, the World Tourism Organization is led by its members. Our strength and influence depend on them. I am proud to say we count on the support of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at the highest level. In June last year, the Kingdom hosted our Executive Council for its 116th session. Out of this came the Jeddah call to action. That was a commitment to rethink tourism governance and every level so that we can all keep adapting to the challenges faced to tourism as a global driver for recovery. And this year we have also enjoyed our warm hospitality and strong support. In March, we held our senior management retreat here, the first time ever it has been held outside of our home city, Madrid, and we made the first retreat here in Riyadh. Without doubt, the Kingdom is our valued ally and strong supporter of UNWTO and our projects. Our members have demonstrated confidence in Saudi Arabia as an emerging global tourism leader. By acclamation, our Executive Council elected His Excellency as its chair of Executive Council in 2023. Right from the beginning, Minister Al-Khatib has brought his unique and valuable energy, ideas, and sense of determination to the role. We share a common vision for our sector, like in importance of investments, jobs, and education. In Jeddah, during our Executive Council, in June last year, the Kingdom announced its plan to train 100,000 people in tourism jobs, a huge statement of intent which is already being implemented. And together we will support many thousands more across the region as they begin their tourism careers. I will not talk more about education because today we have several presentations and I will talk a lot today, I'm sorry, but education is #1 priority for me, for UNWTO, for your countries, for all of us, for tourism industry. Without education, it's impossible we can build bridges, hotels, infrastructure, but without people it's impossible to develop, and I feel it from you when we meet and we talk. The number one priority for all of us, it's education, and we will repeat it many, many times during our visits. Those set to enjoy the benefits our sector offers include women and young people. The project I mentioned about 100,000 Saudis training during this next 3-5 years. For lots of them, it will be a first step towards economic independence and empowerment. The Kingdom is also a top investor in tourism. Our latest tourist investment report with the Financial Times, and I want to thank the Vice President who is attending our meeting of Financial Times, show this very clearly. The Kingdom is now the second biggest place for foreign direct investments projects in all the Middle East and Africa. With a skilled workforce and with the physical and digital infrastructure in place, Saudi Arabia will continue to grow as a global tourism leader. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate the most ambitious World Tourism Day on record. I thank you all for making the effort to join our day in the calendar of global observance. The first one was held more than 40 years ago now, but since then it has grown together with our sector. World Tourism Day has reflected the biggest changes and challenges of tourism, and so it's only fitting we hold the 2023 celebrations here in Riyadh. Now we'll look to the future and to build a legacy. We are honored to count on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia as a travel companion along this journey. And what a journey it has been. These past 4 years, Kingdom has been an important driver of tourism transformation. I'm proud to have been able to also contribute to this success story. Your Excellency, congratulations on this remarkable achievement, and thank you once again for the support and above all for your friendship. Yes, to the next 5 years. So shukran, and welcome to Riyadh, welcome to Saudi Arabia, and happy World Tourism Day, and all the best to all our countries, all our families are involved and working in tourism, and to all our colleagues from all over the world. Thank you very much.